classical, elegant, traditional wedding that is more inside, country club type of wedding. And so we got this bouquet coming out that I did.
That's pretty.
It's more of a round style. And just beautiful roses. But still, I kept it a little organic because that's still very in right now. It's very much organic. So I did do the green ranunculus in it. And then I still did some lilac in it, which gave it that movement. And then I added tulips, which gave it movement, in with the roses. So it's still somewhat organic, but very more clean and classic look. They're clean, just basic, classic round.
Kind of over the country club.
And then, of course, for the groom, we went completely organic because with the matching boutonniere that Pat made with the ranunculus and to match with it. And then this is for the mother of the bride. Instead of doing a corsage for her, we just did a little hand tie bouquet. This is lilac. Lilac. So it's a little bit more rich than just a regular round. And then we did this for the mother of the bride to match it. And then I just made a little teeny loop with a pen, just to give it a little movement with the ribbon for the mother of the bride to hold, which I thought was just so, and that all goes together. And then you want to talk about the centerpiece and stuff?
Also, we want to talk about how you hold it. You know, we have a tendency sometimes, I try to instruct brides, of course, Ani already knows how to hold it, she is a designer, she's fabulous. But we see pictures of brides with it, you know, up here, you know, your elbows are supposed to be at your waist. If you don't have one, pretend. That's what I do. Anyway, your elbows are supposed to be at your waist. The stem does not go into your dress. The stem goes slightly to the side, depending upon how you are being viewed. Okay? Sure, absolutely. So elegant to me, especially today and especially in the South, is still a very textural kind of look. So we love Elaeagnus. I don't know if you guys all know Elaeagnus, but it is the divine shrub that God put on the earth for florists. It will make you say ugly words. Also, because it has big thorns and it can get tangled together very easily, but it can do so many wonderful things. You can build arbors with it, you can do railings with it, you can do armatures with it. That's what I stripped down. It's very pliable, very bendable, and when it's left in its correct state, it just fountains out beautifully on its own. So Carol brought some Elaeagnus, which is what this is, some little spires. What we wanted to do for the larger pieces was manzanita branches up out of the top. These are things that are usually something that you can rent, either from a rental company or from your local florist. Those are placed into the urns before the mechanics of the oasis are placed in, so it can be built around the manzanita branch. Because penetrating that branch is so thick, it would break the oasis and it would not be something that's mechanically sound. So we place those in the bucket that is inside of the urn and then put the oasis into the urn.
They also go spray painted gold to match our gold theme.
We then took what is called oasis or davy tape. Comes in different thicknesses. This is what I use to bind bouquets with. It's waterproof tape. You can buy it at your local florist. And we went around those branches. So if you're doing branches, that is a great way. Just bare branches themselves coming up out of an urn give you a huge impact. It's totally something I have cut so many times to use for a bride. You know, I live on a farm, so I have access to more of that sort of stuff. Carol lives out in the country as well. So just going outside, cutting those bare branches, they could take the place of that manzanita. And then we wanted the flowers to stay grouped, you know, to give it a little bit cleaner look than per se the prairie rustic look. So the hydrangea in the center is grouped, the lisianthus is grouped, the bearded tulips are grouped in with that. We have some of the nice helleborus. And then giving it a statement in the center with that Phalaenopsis orchid, which we actually procured from a plant. Sorry.
Yeah, that was the failed
Yeah.
plants.
Yeah, and just pop that right in the center, and that's what gives that piece the statement.
Sometimes it's cheaper. It's
Uh-huh,
cheaper to
it
go
is.
ahead and buy a failed plant and use the blooms off the failed plant than it is to actually order stems of Phalaenopsis.
Yes.
So that will save you some money down the road too. And, you know, and what's nice about when you have these stems too, once you have these stems in place for oasis, you don't have so much oasis to cover. So then you can just add movement, it doesn't take as much product. You know, you see these big massive things, but the main thing is that it's covered, but you don't have to use so much product.
Right.
To get it covered.
And we want the flowers and something that has anything with a bare branch coming up out of the center. It's gonna work better if you collar it, so to speak, with flowers. If you put all those flowers up into the bare branches, it gets very like confusing and not as pretty and not as elegant. So we wanna keep it away, you know, from the bare branches. The lisianthus, putting that up in here would totally start to confuse the line. You know, it will come out because I have good mechanics. Part one.
Yeah, about one.
Okay, so, yeah, if we start putting that all up in there,
Yeah, see how it draws the eye?
see
As
how
soon as you do that?
it starts to kind of like
So,
get all messy and confusing, so we want to leave that because it is such a statement and group it down to where it flows over.
And so we did the same thing, same concept centerpiece-wise as over here, where we're doing composites of different styles of vases. And we decided this was like more of our least expensive style, is to do the bottles again. So we still have the bottles, and then we did little 4-inch rounds that were already, these are already gold, they're Seneca sales product. They're already gold, so we had to paint them. And so we blended that in, and then we just did gold voters. So then we brought all that in, and then we can upscale it.
Absolutely.
And so I'll bring these over, and we can upscale it with some bigger pieces that you did. You want to explain them?
Yeah, so these are just some bigger gold cylinders.
And I spray painted those, they were just black.
We didn't make it quite as textural as that look, with greenery coming out and stuff like that. It's a tish bit cleaner, but the flowers are still, you know, grouped together and have a great visual impact that way. And we would consider this, as she said, to be our more modest look. And now we